I figured since it's prom season, let's do a prom look, and I can tell you all about my prom. So that's where we're going with that. First, I did get some new products from the Sephora VIP sale or spring sale that I'm going to use, and I've actually tried them this past weekend, and that is the Laneige Glowy Makeup Serum, the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Water Powder Serum, and the Makeup Forever HD Skin Hydra Glow, and this is in the shade 4N68, which kind of matches my Makeup Forever powder. So let's get into it. So the makeup inspiration is going to be drawn from this look right here, and it's from Pinterest, but I'm going to be doing with more like greens tones. Maybe, I don't know if I want to do purple or green tones. First, I'm going to prime my skin with the Makeup Glowy Serum by Laneige. I really like these two products, the Laneige and the Yummy Skin, because they're more like serums than they are primers, and it just gives that, it goes in and seeps into the skin instead of sitting on top of it. So I really do like it. And I put the Yummy Skin because it's a mattifying and priming face serum. So what's interesting about this one is you just turn it over and you tap the bottom. You don't shake it out. And I'm just gonna put that in the areas where I get a little bit oily and my pores are a little bit bigger. Now I am gonna do some color correcting with my Jouer, which is like the same color as my skin tone. Well, but it has like an orange tint to it. But talking about my prom, during my senior year, mind you, this is like 22 years ago. I was in a relationship up until like a week or two before my prom. And yeah, fun stuff. He ended up breaking up with me right before then. So I wasn't really gonna go to my prom. My best friends at the time were like, I know you lying, girl. Mind you, I had this rule where I said, I'm gonna go to all my high school homecomings, but save prom for senior year, because I felt like prom was senior year. It's like the last hoorah, the last big party before you sail off into the sunset of the real world. So I was just like, you know what, I'm not gonna go, because what is the point? I don't have a date, you know. I got senioritis, didn't really want to be there anymore. Was ready to graduate and get on with my life. So why go? My friends, my best friends at the time, they were like, oh, I know you lying. You don't get your butt up and let's go. To be honest, I was very nonchalant back then. I ain't even gonna hold you. I was just like, I really don't feel like it. And I didn't have anything to wear. So if y'all like it, I love it type of thing. But is it really necessary? No, it's not necessary for me to go. Unbeknownst to me, my best friends at the time decided that I was going anyway, and they ended up getting me a dress, and it fit. I was very athletic back at the day. Played volleyball all 4 years of high school. I played basketball for 2 years in high school. Wasn't really, you know, my zhuzh, but I did it because why not? Anything not to be home, get to go play some games. I had the time of my life. Not being home. You know what I'm saying? I had the time of my life. Kind of went out of order. But they had already gotten me a dress, and somehow got in touch with my aunt at the time and had her get me a ticket to prom. Because before then, because prom was in May of that year. That's what I'm like, why are all these proms so early this year? But then again, a lot of people get out in May. A lot of people get out in May, and I said, oh, okay, yeah. Because we graduated in June of that year, not May. So I was so confused as why I was seeing all these videos talking about prom this season. Mind you, our proms was not that extravagant. Y'all going out. And I love that for y'all. But back then, when the average income and the average mortgage around that time was like $575 to like $650, less than like $700. You know what I'm saying? But a few months before, my job had fired me, like a couple of months, because I was sick. And my grandma was so savage. She was like, you should have just threw up all over their stuff. I'm like, ooh, grandma. Don't do it to them. She was like, what? You should have. They're gonna fire you for being sick. You should have threw up all over their stuff. I said, oh, wow. Mind you, I turned 18 my senior year. Like the latter part of my senior year. So after that incident, back then, you know, my behind worked at a call center, a call girl center. But that's a story for another time. Let me know in the comments if you want a story time for that. Because, yeah, your girl, you know, got a job there. That's neither here nor there. I was 18, so. But yeah, I got fired. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, it is what it is. But at that time, I was still with that said boyfriend when I got fired. But then he, like I said, he broke up with me 1 to 2 weeks before prom. So I was just like, you know what? But you know what? You can always feel something when it's about to happen. So I knew it was coming. I wasn't happy. So it is what it is. Like, who in their right mind at 18 decided that they want to have a baby with their boyfriend? What the crap was I going through? I could tell you some stories, Chad. I sure can. So I had an absolute ball though. Like I said, my friends, they were able to find me a dress in the nick of time. My aunt pulled through on the last minute tickets, because it was like the last couple of days before the tickets were like, nope, you can't get them anymore. And back then I think the tickets were like $50 or something like that. Don't quote me though. Don't quote me. So they scraped up, and I already had shoes, because I'm like, when I was working, I was the queen of shoes. Everybody that knew me was like, I was the girly girl, queen of shoes. I always had the latest and greatest. Baker's back then was the business. Baker's, Charlotte Russe, Traffic, but especially Baker's, because I think Traffic took over Baker's, if I'm not mistaken. So I had my shoes. Back then I was a silver girly too. You couldn't tell me nothing. I wore silver like nobody's business. Now, the only thing you'll find silver on me is my wedding ring. Sorry. Let me do my eyebrows off camera and then I'll come back. Now that my eyebrows are on, my eyelids are prepped, let's get into the eyeshadow. I'm gonna be using the Culture 2 palette. I don't know. I really want to use purples, but I think I'm going to go in with the greens because they're calling me. Like this row right here is calling me. And I'm gonna go in with the deeper one called Fufu. Gonna go in with my Pre-Cool palette from Dose of Colors and take like this shade, I think it's called Let's Chill. But take this shade right here and do a wash. Kind of want it kind of a little bit cool tone, but we're gonna see. Because if that's not good enough, we're gonna go to a different palette, child. I use my bronzer. I just need a wash of color. And it looks like it may be a little too dark, so I'm gonna go in with a lighter color. I'm gonna take my bronzer actually and even it out. Because yeah, it does look a little too cool. That looks so much better. Now I'm gonna take Fufu, tap off the excess, and go in the inner corner first and place the color like that. And I feel like you can be as messy with this as you want because we're always gonna blend it out. You're just looking for that wash. Then I'm gonna also take it along here like that. Going in with Fortuna by Melt Cosmetics to line my lash line and define that outer line a little better like that. I'm gonna define it even more with that Fufu color and just really blend it out with a smudge brush. This is cute. Fun little makeup for prom if you're wearing like a green dress. Gonna go in with Motherland, which is a very green, and like further define the outer edge. But yeah, so they had the whole thing planned and I went for like 4 or 5 people. It was like me, my best friend at that time, and our best friend together, and then some other people. And before then we went to dinner. Like actually I took a limo. I was like, oh, not me in a limo for prom. Not me doing it big for prom. But yeah, I went in a limo for prom. I'm gonna take Joss, which is a very pretty reflective color, and go in the center in that negative space. And it was a good restaurant. I liked it. Keith Lee review, it would get like a 7 out of 10 for me. It was okay. That restaurant is not there anymore, but it was okay. I don't know if I want to go on like Afro beats or beads. Let's see what beads is giving. Afro beats is giving. No, they're playing too much around people's cars. I see. I'm gonna go in with festive around like some of the negative spaces, just to give it more seamless looks. And then I think I'm gonna go in with beads on the outer corner a little bit. Yes, so like festive. If you want to be fun going to prom, you want to have a fun look going to prom, this is what you should do. Gonna do my under eye. Let me see if I can find a green liner. Since I can't find a green liner, I'm just gonna go in with a black one by Urban Decay. This is Perversion, and line my lower lash line. And this liner ain't going nowhere at all.
I have. It don't move.
I'm going to take that Motherland color and blend out the lower lash line. I'm gonna take that Fufu color, go closer to the lash line. But yeah, I went and we had a blast. Danced with people that I found out that liked me all during high school but never said anything, but that's neither here nor there. Cause you should have said something. Taking Juvia's Place liquid eyeshadow in the shade Ankara. And then right here. I like how this looks. It kind of goes in with I mean, it is from the Culture palette, so I like how it looks. And then at this time, because my mom said I was 18 and I'm about to graduate high school, she was like, go have fun. So I don't know who got the room, but like I said, it was a big sleepover, doing things that you shouldn't do, so don't do as I do. But I think we stayed up all night just talking about different things, but we also drink heavily. Don't do it though. But yeah, we had a bunch of fun at prom. It's like, you're probably not gonna see a lot of these people again. You're probably not gonna be your friends after that, because my best friend didn't even go to school with me. We just grew up in the same neighborhood together. So take that for what it's worth. Tell me how your prom went and how long ago did you go to prom? And if you are going to prom, are you going to do a fun makeup look, or you know, a traditional one, or just keep it simple, you know? From the shoe store I told you earlier, what year do you think my prom was? And no cheating if you already know me and want to say my year. Don't do that. Don't spoil the fun, okay? This is the final look. I am loving it. Eyes, get into it. Now, stay tuned to the very end and I'll whisper to you what year I graduated. And if you stay to the very end, comment the year below that you hear that I graduated. And like I said, friends and family, don't do that. Don't do that. With that being said, it's your girl Letty, and I'm out. Peace.